Hello, everybody, and welcome to Just Audio, the hot new podcast no one is listening to. I'm your host, Zeke, and that's it. You're just getting me today. Michael is... Oh, it's complicated with Michael. Needless to say, I'm looking for a new host. Hopefully I will find said host. But then again, I also hope Michael will come back. I don't know when, I don't know how, but he'll be back. Hopefully. Until then, I'll have to do this by myself. It's gonna be probably weird for you, audience member, listening to me talk for an hour. I know people could barely listen to me talk about my opinions on Batman v Superman, and I don't know how you're gonna feel about fucking this hour of just yours truly, but I'll do my best. Probably end up being a shorter episode, but I said I'd make this podcast every Wednesday, so here it goes. Let's start off with weeks, of course. How was my week? I didn't do anything. I mean, I wrote some scripts. I'm thinking really at this point, since all my actor friends are busy, or the actor friends I could get, I would have to pay them, and I feel guilty about that because owing people favors makes me feel like a dick, and also I don't have the money to pay them. So what I'm really thinking at this point is just converting all of my episodic scripts into novels, and then just selling the novels, and if those do well, then maybe start making original content with those, and then I could pay my friends, because they deserve a fair wage. They work really hard, and that's just my feelings on that. So that was my week. Yeah, not really uneventful. So let's just go directly into today's topics. The first two stories are going to be video game stories, and the last story is going to be a big comic book story. First thing that I'm really excited about, for those following Street Fighter V, they have just dropped the Alex trailer, meaning Alex is available. I'm a big fan of the Street Fighter games, not necessarily playing them. I haven't had a lot of chances to do that, but I watch live streams of people playing. I keep up with Evo. I keep up with the competitive scene just for spectator purposes. But from the little experience I have had with Street Fighter is that at this Chuck E. Cheese when I was a kid, they had a Street Fighter 3 Third Strike cabinet, and I would play that game a lot, and the character I would always play was Alex. He's really cool. He's just this giant blonde behemoth of a man, and he would just grapple and just beat the shit out of these other characters. Oro was also pretty cool. I liked playing as Oro, but mostly it was just, I would just pick Alex because I thought he was the coolest. Anyway, Alex is back in Street Fighter. Design is a little bit different, which makes sense because chronologically, Street Fighter V takes place before Street Fighter 3. Timelines, they ain't perfect, but I'm really excited to see him. I like the changes they did make. Originally, they kept his green army pants. Actually, at this point, they kind of look more like torn green denim, which I wish I had a pair of those. He's got those cool-ass combat boots like he always does. He's got his red bandana. But now he has got shorter hair because this is younger Alex, so he's got shorter hair. And instead of these giant scars he's got across his chest, he now has, straps, and he wears a flannel around his waist, just like I do. So, I saw that and just went, oh, thinking of me. They weren't. They were just trying to design young Alex, and young Alex wears a flannel on the back of his pants just like I do. And that's really all I have to say on it, because I have no one to bounce off of. I miss Michael. He'll be back. I mean, he is going to come back, right? No, I'm talking to myself. Sorry, people. Okay, other Pokemon news is Pokemon Snap confirmed to be ported to the Wii U via digital console. And that's awesome. I mean, as much as people have been wanting a new Pokemon Snap, having the port for the Wii U sounds pretty awesome to me. That's actually great. I'm glad they're porting all the all the Pokemon games from back in the day. I got Yellow on my 3DS, and if I had a Wii U, I would totally get Pokemon Snap. That was a big game from my childhood. You get to take pictures of Pokemon, move around this rail track. I tell you what, as a rail shooter, which it was, but you just took pictures instead of actual killing people. That was a great rail shooter. Just Pokemon lends itself to really imaginative circumstances that I feel of late they haven't really been taking advantage of. Hope maybe Sun and Moon does something unique for the mainstream series, but I wouldn't mind something like a new Pokemon Snap, or maybe you could they got Pokken Out. That's a Pokemon fighting game. I mean, it's not necessarily straying from like the turn-based RPG combat where you do have one thing pit against another thing. It's just a different mechanics, just different mechanics and systems to get across the same thing of Pokemon battling. Kind of like that. Like, I was like, I wouldn't really want a Pokemon Snap. Like, maybe like a Pokemon rhythm game, or a Pokemon like scavenger hunt game, or like a platformer. I don't know, just something like tiny different, because you could do anything with that vague ass fucking storyline. All right, and so yeah, it's really all I have to say about Alex and Pokemon Snap. Really fucking cool. I wish I had the money and time to play both of those things, but that despite the fact that I have absolutely no contact with them, nor will I have any future contact with them, I'm still excited to see that they're there. For things that are in the realm of acquiring substances, ooh boy, DC Rebirth. I'm really excited about this. What DC has done is they've kind of taken, not necessarily like fan complaints, but they were listening to the fans, and they're bringing up a couple. They're kind of going back to square zero, as DC does every time they write themselves into a fucking corner, and they're going to re-release or just renumber a bunch of things back to number 0, but they want to keep it like in the same vein as Flash and Green Lantern Rebirth. What happened like for the longest time, what happened before Green Lantern Rebirth, for the longest time, Hal Jordan was a supervillain named Parallax. He had killed the Green Lantern Corps, and the only other guy who was a Green Lantern for the longest time, Guy Gardner, who's just this tall ginger asshole of a character, he's neat, became this like really 90s as fuck edgelord character known as the Warrior, who had all of these like alien robots living inside him. They turn into guns and shit. It's fucking dumb. But with Rebirth, they through like time travel-y bullshit, they bring back all the Green Lantern stuff. Hal Jordan, no longer a villain, back to being Green Lantern. All the Green Lanterns from Hal Jordan, John Stewart, Guy Gardner, Kyle Rayner, even the original dude, they're all back. They're all having fun. That was that. And then for Flash Rebirth, they brought Barry Allen back, who had sacrificed himself to save everyone in Crisis on Infinite Earths. Another DC reboot type of thing. A major overhaul reboot, but he'd sacrificed himself to save everybody. To all of those of you who watch the Flash television program, that's the Flash on that show, Barry Allen. So I don't know if they'll ever have him sacrifice himself to save the DC multiverse, but if they did, then that's a storyline they could do. I don't fucking know. But anyway, Flash Rebirth, more or less they brought Barry Allen back at some point, but that was more about like a more personal level, where they just instead revamped his origin story, and they added things like Zoom, Professor Zoom, who is fucking whatever the fuck they call him, Reverse Flash. There's so many, dude. I'm talking about like on a tangent. Let's talk about the fucking Flash, man. There are so many evil Flashes. Like there's Inertia, there's Professor Zoom, there's Reverse Flash, and they're all yellow and red motherfuckers who just hate the Flash for some unnamed reason, because having characters with equal power sets is always a cool dynamic, because the Flash represents a guy who's like, I'm gonna use speed for good. And then you have someone like Reverse Flash who's like, I'm gonna use speed for evil. And it's just, evil versus good, the endless battle of superheroings. But whatever. DC Rebirth is going to be much more like Flash Rebirth in a sense that we're still keeping the New 52 continuity, which has been hit or miss. There's some things I liked, like I loved Wonder Woman. That was one of the best DC comics I was reading for the longest time. But everything else just seemed kind of to just, I don't care. Like I read things and I went, that's neat, and then I read things I just went, I don't care to ever read this again. It's just been really boring. I don't really, here's the thing, people hate fucking New 52. I've never hated the New 52. I just feel that a lot of the choices and a lot of the character changes they made just didn't resonate with me. I don't really think it's their fault either. It's just, this is what was presented. I looked at it and went, I don't care. But maybe I'll find something to care in this new, once again, DC Rebirth, which is keeping the New 52 continuity, but it's going in a new angle of more personal stories. There's a lot of characters they introduced in the New 52 that he just left in the wayside because no one was buying their comics. Yet these characters had great potential to at least influence the universe. We're going to get some characters back like that. A lot of characters like Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, who have been going through their own tribulations at the moment. Batman had died, quote, you can't see me do this, but I'm putting air quotes around died, because it's the 5th time that motherfucker has air quotes died. But anyway, he died in the storyline. He came back, but for a while, Commissioner Gordon, wearing a bat mech, like a robot mech suit, but it was Batman themed, fought as Batman, which was really cool. I actually did really like that. And also for a while, Superman had only his super strength. He wasn't faster than a speeding bullet. He was more powerful than a locomotive, but he could take bullets to the chest, and it wouldn't kill him or nothing, but he would have to dig them out. His skin doesn't heal like it used to. Something had happened where he got this new power. I know, why give Superman new powers? He's had so many. In which he blew up. His new power was that he could release all of his solar energy at once as this giant area of effect blast wave that would just incinerate everything. They called it the solar flare, and it was super fucking dumb. But they did that, and after using it its second time, it caused his skin to react in a way that it healed itself, but it also blocked his ability to absorb solar radiation to make him super powerful, because his body's dude, you can't just keep dumping it out and waiting for it to restock. That's painful on your body. So he became a character known as Kent. He stopped calling himself Superman. Wasn't Kal-El, wasn't Clark. He was just Kent now. And he looked like a fucking douchebag. Shaved head, frat boy douche. But it was a great story. Until they decided to use, but if I smash kryptonite in my skin, I can become more powerful again. And it just, why even bother at that point? Just give him back his powers. Just the skin was part of some weird metamorphosis bullshit. We don't know Kryptonian physiology. It was just, I don't know, a lot of contrivances, but nonetheless, it was still a great series. And then Wonder Woman, they just, I don't know, once the good writer left for Wonder Woman, the comic books just kind of went pew south, and hopefully that will change. But yeah, more personal reboot, more personal stories. I'm gonna go list all of the comics they have coming out, and then I'm gonna talk to you specifically about the ones I find are important. All right, starting off, we got Aquaman Rebirth. I don't care. Batman Rebirth. I don't care. I'm not even, by the way, when I say I don't care, I'm not saying this in a mean way. I'm just saying, okay, let's see where things go from here. We have Batman, I said Batman. Flash Rebirth. That's going to be confusing, but I haven't been following the Flash at all, so I don't really know what the importance of that is. Green Arrow Rebirth. I'm actually excited about this one, because we're going to stop being really dark, gritty TV show Arrow, and we're gonna go back to lighthearted Bernie Sanders socialism Green Arrow, which I love that interpretation of the character. I'm glad we're going back to that. Green Lantern's Rebirth. That one's actually pretty cool. I'm excited about that one because it's more or less like there was a guy introduced to be the new Green Lantern, Simon Baz, this cool Muslim dude. Well, he's more like a 90s edgelord style character, but they did neat things with him. They're bringing him back, as well as the new female Green Lantern, who was Power Ring for a while. For those of you who don't know what Power Ring is the alternate evil reality version of Green Lantern. And whereas Hal Jordan's rating is about free will, that's how you control the Green Lantern stuff. The other Power Ring can do the Green Lantern things. It's just his own ring is eating away at his psyche and is using his fear to power it up. So the woman who got the Power Ring was originally just this terrified mess of a woman, but when she got the ring, she realized that, oh fuck, this thing's gonna eat me, and her attitude flipped like that. And now she's earned the right to be a Green Lantern. I don't know what's happened to her Power Ring since she still had it, but I guess that'll be decided in Darkseid War. Which that's, I don't know. I have odd feelings about Darkseid War. I like the concept behind it. Doesn't really care about the story. Whatever. Moving on. So we're getting Wonder Woman Rebirth, and this one I'm super excited about because it's the original team that wrote the first New 52 Wonder Woman. So that's coming back. I'm gonna get that. I'm about to buy Wonder Woman like a motherfucker. And Titans Rebirth. It's gonna be partially the original Teen Titans team. Nightwing, Beast Boy, Starfire, Cyborg, Raven, all that good stuff. So half of that people, Nightwing's gonna be on it. Oh, by the way, Nightwing Rebirth. I'm just gonna skip down the list and go to Nightwing Rebirth. For the longest time, Dick Grayson has been this CIA douchebag, and now he's gonna be Nightwing again. I don't know how they're gonna put the genie back in the bottle that his identity got revealed, but I hope they just no, fuck it, my identity, but I'm still fucking Nightwing. I think that would be cooler if they just did that. Detective Comics and Action Comics are going to be reset back to their original numbers, so we'll finally in this day and age of just fuck it, go back to issue 1 because that sells more. A comic's actually going to reach 1,000 issues, and that's neat. I understand that it's a cool milestone, but I don't know. I don't care. I know, this is so exciting, isn't it? It's hey, are you excited that DC is revamping their lineup? Yes, I am. Do you care about any of the changes? No. I care about Wonder Woman and Nightwing. Red Hood and the Outlaws Rebirth. It's gonna be neat. I didn't really care for that. I don't know if the team's gonna change up. I hope, with all of my heart and soul, that Roy Harper, Red Arrow / Arsenal / Speedy, loses his fucking trucker cap. That's just, why? Why does Roy Harper need a trucker cap? Why does a superhero need to wear a trucker cap? I mean, it's such a dumb nitpicky thing to bring up, but fucking why is he wearing a trucker cap? When you look at his militarized super suit that he's wearing, well, it's a super suit in that it's a suit that superheroes wear, but you look at that, and then you look at that him wearing a trucker cap with that diamond mask, the sleeveless shirt, and just those red pants and boots. He looks like a fucking dick. Just Roy Harper is a dick, but he doesn't look like one. That's beside the point. That's such a nitpicky bullshit thing that just bothers me. And that's often how I get on to Transformers fans about I can't buy this toy, it has exposed screws. Well, I'm gonna buy the toy because you can change it from a tank to a car, and I'm totally cool with that. But once again, that's a nitpicky thing on both ends. Bullshit. Let's get back to this list. The Hellblazer Rebirth. So Constantine is going to be called Hellblazer again. Neat, I suppose. Let's see what else we got here. Batgirl and the Birds of Prey. Hopefully, Batgirl has stopped going through her midlife crisis of being a 30-year-old woman living in a dorm with, like, teenage girls and acting like a teenage girl. I understand that, like, maybe DC wants to reach a certain audience, but she's 30. Like, she's an adult. I understand liking cutesy bullshit. Fuck, man, I still got a box of stuffed animals. I love cutesy bullshit. But you're 30. Stop acting like you're in fucking college. I hope your midlife crisis is over and you're gonna get some good shit out of you. I love her costume redesign though. Like, despite the people called it like the hipster Batgirl, I really do love that costume. It's very practical, and I'm all about practicality. Unless I can make something cooler, then I'm not about practicality. I'm a very fickle idiot. So let's see what else we got here. We got Batman Beyond Rebirth. Terry McGinnis is going to come back. I know he hasn't been Terry McGinnis for a while, and the same team's writing it. So I really think it's just more of a corporate mandate that they make it Terry McGinnis again because people like Terry McGinnis. Less about that's what the story writer wants. But I hate his story, so I'm cool with this change happening. So there you go. Blue Beetle Rebirth. I'm excited about that. It's going to be Jaime Reyes, the third Blue Beetle, being taught by Ted Kord, the second Blue Beetle, and that is just, oh, I love Ted Kord. I love Jaime Reyes. They're some of my favorite, like, just C-lister characters, and they're both great Blue Beetles, and oh my god, I'm so excited for that. I can't wait. Cyborg Rebirth, makes sense, he's on the Teen Titans. We also got Deathstroke Rebirth, so Deathstroke's getting a comic. I mean, he's really boring, badass, mercenary old man, but really boring, badass, mercenary man. You can write good stories with that, so I'll see that. That's going to be neat. Harley Quinn Rebirth. Cool. I don't care. I haven't cared about Harley Quinn since the 90s. See what we got here. Supergirl Rebirth. Cool. I heard in this the New 52 continuity, her dad is Cyborg Superman. Maybe they'll do something with that because I think she got killed by Cyborg Superman at some point. I don't know if they retconned that or that's like a what if, but like cool. Like literal rebirth for Supergirl. Teen Titans Rebirth, which is going to be led by Damian Wayne. I don't like that. I hate Damian Wayne. So that's neat. Then we got our Earth 2 Rebirth. For those of you who are not comic book nerds, what Earth 2 is the the post-crisis continuity. Like back when Superman had Trunks on, Batgirl was Oracle instead of Batgirl, Nightwing and Barbara Gordon dated, Parallax was a thing, and then wasn't a thing. Like that continuity, the one that people genuinely have less negative opinions about, because there's still some bullshit in that. There's always some bullshit there. But more or less, it's more widely loved than New 52, even though I don't think it's New 52's fault. They just wanted to go in a certain direction, and a lot of people didn't respond to it. Yeah. But, that's cool. Totally glad that's coming back. I like this list. A lot of things I don't care about, and once again, that's not a negative I don't care. It's more of just doesn't appeal to me, but I am excited about, definitely, Blue Beetle Rebirth. I'm super excited about that. I'll definitely pick that up. Wonder Woman Rebirth, since they got the original team back, I'm really excited about that. I love what they did with her. Not necessarily the update to her origin, because what they did in the New 52 is that Wonder Woman is now the daughter of Zeus and Hippolyta, instead of just Hippolyta making her out of clay, and she's just, boom, born that way. I don't like that at all, because what made Wonder Woman cool was that she was truly a being not tainted by man, and that makes cool symbolisms for an Amazon. And now that she has a dad, that just kind of makes me like, oh wow, she's really lost all edge feminist-wise. I mean, it's not a bad thing, you know. Tons of feminists and Amazons have dads, but not Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was supposed to be like uniquely female and special, but it's, you know, it's a gripe for another day. The story behind it was still pretty fucking cool. And then something I didn't bring up: Super Sons. For a lot of people that don't know this, in the New 52 continuity, which is the current DC Comics continuity, every 10 years they have a crisis and they reboot it. But during this 10-year period, they've had the New 52 continuity. And in this, there are two Supermen. The Superman from the original continuity. Well, not the original, the... Fucking goddamn it, DC Comics is complicated timelines. But anyway, the New 52 Superman and pre-New 52 Superman both exist in this reality. But pre-New 52 Superman lets the Justice League and everyone else handle things because he doesn't need to. The world's protected without him, so he's just taking this kind of time as having like he's just retired, lives with pre-New 52 Lois Lane, and they have a son, and his son's starting to get superpowers. That's been a big thing in this current comic book series called Lois and Clark. Definitely pick that up. I'd say wait for the trade because it's like it's gonna be over at this point. But when Lois and Clark trade comes out, definitely pick that up. That's a great story. Makes me feel good in the heart places where heart should go. Yeah, so very, very, very happy with that. But anyway, sorry, off fucking topic. It's kind of why I wish Michael was here. He could rein me back a bit, but that's fine. I got to do this by myself. You know, bear with me. People who don't listen to this podcast. No one fucking listens to this podcast. I don't know why I'm so worried. But, no, Super Sons is a comic book coming out, and I like that. Even though I hate Damian Wayne, I really like the concept of pre-New 52, Superman's son is going to be teaming up in an ongoing series with Batman's son, which in both continuities is Damian Wayne, the current Robin. Those two together, that sounds cool. I don't know. I hate Damian Wayne, but just the concept of him hanging like this little child. Damian Wayne is not a child murderer, even though you could probably hint in his backstory he's killed children because people his age, but he's just a murderer that's a child, and Batman tries to teach him like, hey, we don't do that. But then you have like a this new kid. I don't know if he's going to be Superboy or whatever they're going to call him, but this new Superboy, he's just a kid. Like, he's lived his entire life like not knowing that his parents are Superman, not knowing that these things happen, and he's just like, now I got superpowers, and my dad's a great guy, so I have all this great example. And just having those two, like, kid who doesn't know fucking shit, and a kid who's become an unlikable asshole because he knows so much shit, that kind of juxtaposition of those two characters hanging out, I like stories like that, so I'm very interested in Super Sons. Also, it's the only time the baby gimmick of, like, baby Batman and baby Superman goes on adventures has ever really appealed to me, and I like that. Alright, we seem to be hitting the 30-minute mark. I mean, that's pretty good for podcast standards, just one guy sitting here talking. So I'm just going to end it here because that's all I had to report. That's all I had to say. Nothing really to bounce off anybody. Michael, if you're listening, I miss you. And I hope whatever is happening out there works out for you, buddy. But till then, as I said, I am looking for a new host. I'm going to be testing some people out. Already got 2 people ready to go. And next week, the coming weeks we'll deal with that. Until then, if and when Michael comes back. So I'm not going to take him just walking out of here as a no. He will come back. He'll be back. And then things will be normal again. Until then, though, podcast is over. I'll see y'all around the Milky Way. Goodbye. Thank you for listening to this messy, messy fucking thing.